Hello everybody, welcome back once more to Anime Yeah Your Nay. I'm TheOutbackAl.
I'm Hot for Justice.
I'm Chibi
And I'm Envy Jitters.
And we might have a little bit of a shorter thing today because we're actually going to hold off on Tokyo Mew Mew episodes 27 to 30 until next week, the beginning of February. But for now, we can talk about the Magia Record episode 4.
Yep.
Which is the thing we watched.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So what happened in this one?
In this one, we met a girl who works at the Chinese food restaurant whose name's Tsuruno.
She's the most powerful magical girl.
Apparently, and she has fire powers.
Yes. The most powerful powers, but the most powerful magical girl.
So, basically, Iroha goes to meet her and is basically asking if she can network Iroha to someone who is also been looking into rumors around the city of Kamihama.
Yeah, because apparently there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's their big thing. The witches in Kamihama don't really seem to be witches per se. They seem more to be the manifestations of urban legends.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about a little bit last week whenever we were also discussing a little slugger and that. They seem to be kind of like that, but less, I don't know, regular yokai-ish.
Right. So they go to meet with said person, who it turns out is Yachio.
Who is not the strongest magical girl.
No. And her, Tsuruno, and Yachio apparently have history together.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Alright.
As in, they used to be, really good friends, but apparently their friendship has dwindled.
I feel like that's a common theme throughout this entire
It's failing
show,
friendships.
possibly series as well.
Yeah, it's failing friendships and relationships with people is a common thing that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So they go and they're looking for what's known as the Seance Shrine, which apparently if you write the person's name or your wish on a tablet or whatever, a wooden tablet, it'll basically allow you to see said person.
Yeah.
So they try it the first time, write the name, tap, tap, bow. Doesn't work. So they're okay, well, we're going to go on this little postcard scavenger hunt thing, and maybe it'll show us where...
Yeah, it's a pub crawl without the pubs.
Yeah. Where,
Shrine crawl.
Shrine crawl.
And it basically...
Was it a shrine crawl?
It's a shrine crawl.
What? But I thought there was shops and other places that they went to along the way.
Maybe. But anyway, these are spots of significance, especially to the legend of what's known as the Mizuna Shrine, which is the shrine that they went to.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mizuna Shrine, basically has a legend about this woman who fell in love with a commoner. She is a lady of the daimyo era. So they fall in love. Her fiance finds out. He kills the guy that she likes. In a jealous rage.
Which works out so well whenever people do it, you know?
Yeah. They end up, she ends up being able to see him again, basically as a ghost, but in order to actually be able to see him again, we come to find out that, according to the legend, she sacrificed everyone in the castle in order to basically get him back.
Yeah, bit of a little far that they went there, I think.
Yeah.
But, do what you gotta do.
So they do that. They're going around. They end up back at the Mizuna Shrine. And basically afterwards, Yachio takes them to the supermarket because she looks like she remembered something and was talking about sales and things. Turns out, within the supermarket is a witch's labyrinth, which comes out of a cereal box.
That's not a prize you won as a kid.
Nope, it is not.
Isn't it though?
It turns out that the witch is actually a cute little bunny monster.
Mm-hmm.
And Iroha tries shooting it with her crossbow. She isn't very effective. It keeps missing.
She sucks.
Yeah. So what happens is Tsuruno turns out she's got fire powers.
Because she's the strongest magical girl ever.
Yeah, and she's got these big ass fans and it's whoosh. So but she's like taking down like the little creatures, and she's like fighting the witch, and it's a very brief, like split second, couple frames, but Iroha puts her hand on Tsuruno's arm, and her powers get like jacked up to over 9,000.
Because she's the most powerful magical girl.
But we've been talking about how Iroha doesn't really seem to like show too much of a special ability, but she seems to have the ability to lend strength to others.
Okay.
It seems to be what her powers were, because Tsuruno basically went and shot up into the ceiling.
Yeah, her powers went into overdrive without her even realizing it.
If this was an RPG or a looter shooter or like a hero shooter, she'd be the support character, giving strength to other people.
Yeah, so...
Which I think is a thing we've seen before. Like with Homura, we knew that she was strong and she could shoot stuff and all that sort of stuff. But we didn't really know what her power was until later. Mm-hmm. So this is like one of those things where it's like, okay, they're using the minimal amount of their ability, because I think their real ability, like... whether she's aware of it or not, is very powerful, but probably drains a lot of her magic. Like, I can only imagine, like, I don't know if they went into a ton of detail, but I feel like Homura's power of stopping time or doing a lot of time manipulation would probably drain a lot of energy, so I understand why she probably used it sparingly.
Yeah. Another thing with that was, once they actually, speaking of draining things, once they defeated the witch and still didn't get a grief seed out of it, like, Iroha looks at her soul gem, it's getting a little bit black.
Cursey.
Yeah, on the bottom. So it's like, since they're not getting grief seeds, they have no way to clean out their soul gems.
Yeah, so they might have to leave town for a little bit, go fight some normal witches, and maybe come back. I mean, there's ways around this, but it does make it kind of a ticking clock if they stay there too long without fighting anything that's going to leave them some kind of reward. Because so far these witches have not left a ton.
Yeah. So then Yachio, basically remembers, oh, I remember this other thing in the legend, blah, 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 blah. Turns out we actually have to go back at night, and the Mizuna Shrine is going to be the Seance Shrine.
At night.
Night, 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 night.
We get it.
Wasn't that amazing, Patrick?
I love SpongeBob. Anyway, so they hop the fence, and they're going through, like, things are...
When we say hop the fence, we literally mean hop the fence.
Yes, hop the fence.
They just yeeted right over that thing.
Uh-huh. Like, and they go in, things are looking kind of witchy now, because it's another urban legend thing. So... they go in, Yachio and Iroha, they're the only ones who are allowed to write things on the tablets, because Tsuruno will probably just write the same name as Yachio.
What name does she have to write down? She's the most powerful magical girl.
We don't know. Apparently this was a friend of theirs, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But they go in, they grab the tablets, they write the names, they do the thing, they hang it up, they do the prayer, and then they're in, like, a realm with a lot of bridges and like shrine gates, and
it's a witch labyrinth.
It's a bit of a witch labyrinth, yeah.
Or whatever the equivalent of is for whatever these things are, these rumored creatures.
Yes. So at the end of the episode, Yachio sees her friend, I guess, who was gone. I forget what her name is, but she has short white hair. And then Iroha...
Myth. We call him Myth for now.
Something like that.
Someone will tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
And there was an M, an I, and an F. That's all I got. It was there for 2 seconds.
And then Iroha sees Ui, and it's kind of like... It ends...
It just sounds weird when you say it in English. Ui.
Ui. But it ends there with the two of them seeing the person that they wanted to see, but I'm just going to assume that it's not, and it's actually just another witch.
Yeah, it's like some sort of evil dead shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
Probably.
So if I had to guess, episode 5 will be the tragic backstory of Discount Homura and why she's so...
That's not Discount Homura.
It's
Discount
not.
Homura we haven't seen since episode 1.
Okay, new home.
This is new Homura.
Oh, excuse me.
But that's about where we left off. No Mammy in this episode.
No Mammy in this
So-
episode. That makes me sad because, like, you know, it's you always want to see your villain at some point throughout the series.
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't seen anything yet that will disprove what I'm saying. I know it's a long shot, but who knows? You know, evil magical girl. Cool idea. I think they will do it for the show. Will they have the balls to make it Mammy?
No.
Probably not.
No, it's just gonna be probably like what you said, where it's the
The coordinator.
person we don't know, have no connection to. They're probably gonna like build up for like one episode before suddenly, it's revealed that they're the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate because I'm like, you really could have had someone with Mammy.
I had a thought.
What's your thoughts?
So what if the adjustment prevents them from leaving grief seeds?
I mean, that's a possibility.
Because I'm just wondering, could that be a thing?
It's that could be an interesting way to go about it. That's how they're gaining power.
But
They're
that's
taking
also-
the curse and using it to power themselves up before it can be dropped for someone else.
And then that would also mean, that would explain why there are no QBs. Because
Yeah.
with each grief seed, like, getting rid of entropy and whatever, because they're the ones who consume them.
Mm-hmm.
So, without the grief seeds, they don't need QBs there, really.
Yeah, and well, need is one thing, but like, how are they keeping them out with like some sort of like the thing to turn them off?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not really sure what's going on with that, but I'm really interested to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think like as far as like lore and overall world building stuff, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens with this. Again, if they're just gonna make it the adjuster person, really wish you would have tried a little more with like a possibility of someone that we couldn't like point to right away and be like, this is because like me and you have been watching Scooby Doo a little bit,
Right.
like some of
Which
the old stuff.
version?
Which what's new Scooby Doo, which came on Netflix pretty recently, and like we always like in the first 5 minutes are like, there's the bad guy. Or that's the bad guy. And I'm like, here's exactly what happened.
Is this the old one from like 2005?
It's not that old, but yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. It's just everything to me is old these days. If it's like over 10 years old, it's old.
We're all old.
Yeah.
We're all getting up there. Madoka's 10 years old. This is a decade-old show that we're now getting a sequel to. How
Yeah.
does that feel for us?
I ain't old!
Sure you're not. Sure you're not.
I mean, me personally, like, I'm glad it, like, got, like, a sequel thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm still, like, a bit on the fence about it because it's not that same feeling. But I guess, like...
True.
As
The
long-
fact that they didn't bring back the original writer probably has something to do with
yeah,
it. But
I mean,
it
there's...
at least feels like it fits in the world.
Yeah, and there's gonna be less character deaths, so...
And
that's
plus the
probably-
original anime was an original anime, and
That's
this
true.
is based on a mobile game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is, I think, again, I feel like we've said this before, why we think there's probably not going to be any major character deaths. And I don't think we're going to count Yui or whoever this person lost, because they don't count because they already died before the series started.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, you can't really kill off your characters if you're going to have them be DLC. So, but yeah, and we were kind of discussing this as well, and I think we discussed this before, that someone had commented that it's following the story of the game pretty closely, but I think that person also said that the pacing was pretty slow, so they were... I know originally, first episode that we covered, we were like, this is going to be 26 episodes, and then, like, there is no 26 episodes, it's so far for 13, and other people, but, like, this person was also saying, like, it's going so slow, if they're going to cover the whole story, it's going to have to be, like, over 2 seasons for, like, 26 episodes. But I'm like, the fact they wouldn't announce anything ahead of time for that makes me think, this is going to be slow paced, they're either going to cut out a lot in the middle, No, you don't think they're going to cut out a lot?
I
A lot of shows tend to do now, at least in the last couple of years, have been doing split cores where basically they air the first 12 or 13 episodes, take a few months off, and then air the remaining episodes in a new season.
I think that's fine, but I feel like there would have been some kind of announcement for like they were gonna do that, or they're like planning on it. They're gonna see how the first couple episodes go, whether they're gonna greenlight it or not. They maybe already have some of the storyboards ready to go just in case.
I mean,
I don't know how exactly it works nowadays. This is one of the few like currently airing anime that I've watched in recent years because I just don't do it. I don't like doing the week to week thing. But I kind of again feel like if it is going slow pace and we don't have any sort of confirmation in the next few weeks or so about whether there will be another season, I think they're just going to cut it off, give us an unsatisfying ending, and be like, okay, play the game. If you want to see what happens, I'm like, okay, you're a bad adaptation because you didn't give us an ending.
A lot of times they'll announce, but a lot of times the animators or the publisher will announce the day that the last episode airs, whether or not it will continue or something like that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of times, like, they'll say it's not going on for another season, and they'll give you, like, that final finale sort of thing, where it's kind of like, we're cutting it off here, this is going to be the ending for the anime itself, but it's different from, like, what the game actually is, what
but
the
it won't be
manga
good.
actually is.
How many times do they do that the ending's good?
Well, like,
that it's satisfying.
the reason why I say that is because Bookworm, the show that a couple of you guys dropped, they ended their first part, but they're doing a split core where they're airing the second half of their show in this coming spring. So
it did good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I'm just saying, maybe
surprising to me.
But I was just saying that could be an example of.
No, I know it exists.
Yeah.
But I just find it weird that you don't want to try to hype up that you're probably going to have more of this if people liked it to begin with. I understand, like, maybe holding off on production if you're, like, if it's a gamble. Because, like, when you think about it, this is a 10-year-old property. Mm-hmm. You're just bringing it back to a new group of people. And yes, it has a game, it's popular and all that. But, it's a gamble on whether this series was going to work or not. And I can understand holding off and maybe be like, well, let's do a little pre-production just in case it does do good and we can get the ball rolling right away. That way we can, strike while the iron's hot. But, we don't want to be like Attack on Titan or One Punch Man where, we let our momentum completely fall off and then we kind of just sizzled and fell off on our other seasons. But I feel like, and maybe it is still too early for it, but I feel like if people were enjoying it and were going like, oh, this is really good, we love this, we want more of this, I feel like at a certain point they would make an announcement for some sort of where there's going to be more, or there's going to be whatever. Keep the hype train rolling, and then whenever the last episode shows up, and people are like, oh, this is the mid-season finale, it's not the series finale.
A lot of anime studios don't tend to do that. They just don't make any announcements until like the last 2 weeks or the last episode airs. They probably have been planning it for a while. If there is going to be another 13 episodes, they just won't say it unless it's the last week.
I think their production and press system in Japan is also a bit different than it is here in America.
I have no idea, but
So whereas shows will basically say that a show's greenlighted for another season, like midway through the season or like towards the end for another season. Like they tend to keep things like really on the down low with everything, and they really just like want to see how things pan out before they like completely commit and tell people, hey, we're definitely doing this, because I think like they want to have like a certain, I don't know, like say they want to at least have a certain like audience reaction, like a positive one, before they continue on with it.
I get that, but like if you're gonna wait till the very end when people are like winding down off of it, do you want to let people wind down off of it? Because like I don't know that everyone sees announcements and stuff. Some people just watch shows. So, and maybe then it wouldn't matter whether they know or not that it's going to come out with another season, but I don't know.
I don't even know how their commercial system works, if like they advertise for shows that are coming out like we do here.
All I've ever seen are like some game shows, and they're all seem really weird to me. So I can't speak to it.
I mean, they do a lot of like dramas. Like when I had my freshman year roommate, she said she didn't watch a whole lot of anime, but she watched more dramas and Korean dramas and things like that because those were what appealed to her more so than anime. And I've heard from like a couple different people that like anime's like, yeah, they're making it for like the people at home, like in Japan who like enjoy anime, love watching anime. But a lot of times they're even just making anime, and the production choices and like choices that they make with like certain things, it's all for the foreign markets.
Oh yeah,
because they know
100%.
it'll do.
We shell out a ton of money for it.
I think because they know they'll get like a lot more money overseas than they will on like home, that they'll basically like try to like gear it more towards us than they will to people like who actually like will view it in Japan sometimes, but that all depends on what the show is.
That's fair, and I get that, especially with like the recent, like in the past decade, like simulcast stuff has become so huge.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this, like we just watched this. We're recording this after seeing it. It came out like what, 6-7 hours ago in Japan.
Yes.
Whatever the
So,
time difference is.
Yeah, but I know it comes out like 10 a.m. on Saturdays here, which is like midnight over there, and we're watching this at. We just finished this at what? What is it? 3 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 hours ago.
Like
4, 5. Fuck. All my math is off.
I also remember when Earth Defense Club first came out. It was also airing at around like midnight 1 a.m. in Japan, and it was airing here like for the broadcasting like websites that do all the anime here, like for Crunchyroll. They were coming out at about like noon to 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'm just like...
It's Saturday morning cartoons for us again, which is
Yeah.
like where a lot of us started watching anime, I think.
So, like, I don't know who all in Japan stays up that late to watch anime.
I imagine they have censors too. Like they can't show bloody cartoons if depending on the show. Like,
Oh, yeah. That's
at
definitely
like
right.
prime time or something like that.
That's true.
I know Madoka is not incredibly violent, but like there's some stuff that can.
There's some stuff that could be like, yeah, there's a lot of fighting in it. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's certain theme elements that they can't show.
Maybe.
Like, because they like this one so far, this series hasn't gone to too many dark places like the other one did. But
Yeah.
you know, it's Madoka. We'll give it a little bit of time before they start talking about like some darker shit. But yeah, I can see how like certain things like that could be like save it till after 9.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's about everything I had to say.
Okay.
Anyone else have some final thoughts? What?
Oh, we got to see the baby Cubie.
We did get to see the baby cube, and apparently Iroha isn't the only one who sees it, so that's something.
So she's not the only one who sees it. And also Yachio's like, is that the tiny Cubie that you've been talking about? And she's like, yeah. It's like, he's right here. And it's like, oh.
And after that, no questions. Okay.
So what is he?
You see something that no one's ever seen before, and you're just like, huh.
Neat.
Also, the
Like-
only Cubie that is allowed in here, apparently.
I mean, they're not aware that no other QB can enter yet. They just know that there aren't QBs there. Which
Right.
in and of itself is strange, but I think if they actually knew that a normal QB or incubator or whatever couldn't get in, I think then they'd be more concerned.
Yeah,
But
it's very true.
if they know about that, then they're not going to run into Mammy and start a fight.
Yep.
Which, you know, looking forward to that.
Oh boy.
What's going to happen when Mammy fights the most powerful magical girl? That's all I want to know. It's
Jeez.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's about it.
Yep.
Alright, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!